In 27 April 2011, a Guinea father is wandering worriedly outside the operation room. His name is Salah, and his 10-year-old son is having an operation inside the room.
The doctor told me not to worry, and they said the success rate of the surgery is 50%, which means my son may live or die on the same possibility.
A 40-year-old woman is accompanying him in waiting. Her name is Xiao Yaoming, a local Cantonese woman. Seeing the worried father, Xiao also feels the pressure. I brought the food and water to him, but he didn't want to have any, just keeps on waiting.
Stella and his son come from Guinea, on the west of Africa, covering 246,000 square kilometers and equaling to 1.5 times of Guangzhou. Why did Stella travel 10,000 kilometers to seek the doctor in Guangzhou? How did they get so much support from the local people? This can be traced back from 24th March 2011, when Stella and his son arrived in Guangzhou after over 10 hours on plane. They faced with a puzzle instantly when they got here.
It was a cold day that day in Guangzhou, ranging from 12 degrees to 18 degrees. Seems the cool air is approaching. Salah came here to meet his old friend, but the number and the address was so wrong that he couldn't contact with them. Right at the time, Salah's little boy caught a fever unexpectedly. Salah couldn't speak Chinese or Cantonese. He walked along the street helplessly. We were wearing the winter coats, but the father only wore the t-shirt and the baby in a vest with the clothes wrapped outside. I was the resident in the neighborhood going out to search for the farm car at 7 in the night. Out of curiosity, she took a look of this father and son carefully. The son's arms are as slim as my fingers, and his mouth is open, panting for breath all the time. Xiao went near and asked them why they didn't go home in this cold weather. The son should be sent to the hospital right now. I said, "Baby, how are you?" His father said, "Fine." Then I didn't know what to speak in English, so I called my friend knowing English to talk to them. What Salah brought with him was only the money used in Guinea, and they didn't have any warm clothes. They had nowhere to go and couldn't get in touch with old friend. When I first met him, he was in such thin shirt. This is the clothes of his son. They don't have any coats. Xiao used to be a bus driver and work in the paint factory. She raised 2 sons on her own since she was divorced in 2007. Watching this helpless father and son, she decided to take them home. I didn't know what they liked to eat, so I poured a cup of water when they settled down in my place at first. The father drank tons of water. I thought he might be hungry, so I went downstairs to buy some bread for them. I helped the child to take a shower and made meal for him since the first day they came to my house. Xiao lives in a 2-bedroom apartment, and her sons won't come home until weekends. At the time, she was absent from work and hunting everywhere. Although her economic pressure was heavy, she still took the baby to the hospital to see the doctor. To their surprise, what the baby got was not a simple cold. It turned out to be the pneumonia, high fever, a nausea, and a sophisticated cardiac disease. I borrowed 5,000 yuan from my friend to cure the baby's disease firstly. The little baby stayed in hospital for more than 10 days, costing 8,000 yuan, but the disease was only slowed down without immediate improvement. The cardiac disease can only be cured by the surgery. Because of the severity, the hospital advised them to transfer to another one. They did it as the doctor told the next day, and Dr. Di Yichun accepted them.
The first sentence he said was, "I'm so glad that you are able to speak English." The court finally held the conversation on the baby's disease. Dr. Dean drew a picture to make it understood more clearly. It is called the persistent truncus arteriosus, which means the truncus arteriosus was not segmented ideally in the embryo stage, causing only one aortic developed on the heart without the pulmonary artery. Then two pulmonary arterioles developed on the aortic, leading to severe blood flow and pulmonary hypertension. I felt terrible, really. I thought my son got the pneumonia, but then they told me he had a hole in his heart.
Dr. Ding suggested having the surgery instantly, and the risk of the surgery may be high. The general charge of the treatment can be 200,000 yuan. The sellers live in an old building, and his wife works as waitress in the restaurant. The baby is so weak that his mother has to ask for leave to look after him a lot. Finally, she was resigned. Sarah works for the business across borders, always traveling in many countries. Then what's his income?
My boss had earned a lot of money, but I didn't have much. If I have the seed money, I will do my own business.
Sarah was stuck by the charge of the treatment. The more frustrating thing was seeing the baby deteriorated and in the risk of dying every second.
I had no other choice when was told that. Well, I decided to sell my kidney to get the money. The doctor said I was insane to sell my organ, but I insisted. In our country, selling one's kidney to cash in the medical expense is forbidden, you know. What's more, there's no need to ruin one's future. This sacrifice may be too huge. After all, there must be other choices.